I'd like to call the June 22nd board meeting of the Forsyth County Board of Education to order. I have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion to approve?
So, go ahead. Second.
A motion by Wes and a second by Mike. All in favor? Unanimous. And now we will have the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this is a public hearing for the millage rate, and we're going to have Mr. Hamill come and explain it to us, and then we will wait a few minutes to see if anybody else shows up, and we'll go from there.
Good morning. We're here this morning to talk about the 2024 tentative millage rate. Currently, we have a proposed budget with an M&O millage rate of 15.3 with a rollback of 14.635. The current debt millage is staying the same from last year, 1.418, with a rollback of 1.2. Today, we have a meeting today, right now at 9. We'll have another one this afternoon at 7. Final approval of the budget and millage rate will be on June 29th at 5 p.m. So this is the 5-year tax digest history. This is required by state law for us to publish. When we published this, we published it based on the initial budget of 16.3. As you can see, based on that, we're projected to bring in about $49.82 million. The 17.25% tax increase to the digest based on that millage rate. The rollback for the M&O at this time was still 16.3 when they did this form. As you can see, if you take that in calculation against a rollback, it would have been a 14.635 was a rollback provision calculation with a 16.3, which would have been a tax increase of 11.38%. When I went back and calculated it at 15.3, that came up to 4.54%. And then on the debt service, of course, we're keeping it the same at 1.418. The calculation for rollback was 1.2. In between a 1.2 and a 1.48, that's an 18% increase. We did lower the millage rate last year down a full mill, and we reserved funds out in SPLOST 5 and general fund to make up for the difference for the next couple of years. Basically, what the rollback means is if you were to completely roll back your millage rate to this amount, either the 14.635 or the 1.2, in theory, you should get the same amount of tax revenue as you did the previous years with no increase. And that is the millage rate meeting data. Any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you. How long do y'all want to wait? Y'all want to wait till? Okay.
You want to make note?
I will. As of right now, we don't have any public speakers, so we're going to wait a few minutes to make sure nobody's coming before we close the hearing.
And we are being live streamed, so people might be watching. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mr. Hamill has already kind of gone over the rollback and what it means and how it works. And then we were just waiting to see if anybody came in to speak before we closed the meeting.
As you can see up on the board, our current millage rate is 17.3. So if this budget is passed as proposed, it'll be lowered to 15.3. So the estimated tax bill you received back in June will drop by 2 millage points once you get your actual tax bill later on in the summer or the fall. If this,
So this first bill I got in June was just like a
it's
preliminary.
an estimate, and they have to send the estimate based on the current rate. They had no idea what the board was going to do with the upcoming budget. So now, once the budget passes, which it should next week, then the county will have the actual millage, which would be 15.3, and then your tax bill will reflect that when you receive it later on this summer or in the fall.
Yeah, it did make us gyrate a lot.
Yeah, it made a lot of people gyrate.
And I'm all for supporting
Yeah.
our schools.
Yeah.
And I know you all have a lot to juggle when you're trying to put together a budget.
Yeah.
So on your tax bill, it will have what the value that the county says, and then they take 40% of that, and they take that 40% minus $2,000, and then they take that and they times it to the mill rate. And so if you go in there and take that calculation and change it from 17.3 to 15.3, I did it on mine, and my tax decreased in half. So everybody's situation is different on how they evaluate their house. So I'm not going to say it's going to happen to yours, but it did for mine. So it was significant rollback.
Any thing that you could do to lower it, of course, is helpful. So,
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. We're lowering it to full meals, so
yeah, that's a lot.
should help
so.
everybody.
Back to 2006,
2006.
2006 numbers.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've been living here since 2001. So I've just seen it since.
Yeah. Well, all of our property values continue to go up, and because people continue to move here, the schools are one reason they continue to move here, and that's just driving, the property assessments up. Of course, we have no control over that. That's a function of the county. But it obviously impacts all of our taxes based on the millage. And again, that's why the board's lowering it by 2. Just kind of soften the blow for everybody.
So how does a resident of Forsyth County see the various things or understand the various things that their tax money is being budgeted and allocated for? Where would we be able to understand?
Well, it says on your tax bill what portion of that goes to schools and what portion goes to county, what portion goes to the fire department. So that's broken down on your tax bill. And then if you want more information on the school side of it, on our website, it's all broken down, our budget and all of that is displayed on our website,
Like
yes.
my HOA, they give us our budget,
Right.
they
Yeah.
break it down, like how
Yeah.
much we're spending on electricity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and when you see that, it puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the county has it on their website.
Oh, I'm sure
too,
they do,
like
too.
what they spend
You know,
parks
for
and
parks
rec.
and recreation.
Yeah.
you know, all that.
Yeah,
Well, 90% of our budget's personnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in order to employ,
In the school budget.
yeah, school
Yes,
budgets, yeah.
Our budget.
90% of our budget is personnel and benefits.
Yeah, and in a school budget, that's really important because people in a learning environment
Yeah.
is key,
Yeah, we're a people business,
right?
yeah, for sure.
But we still have to keep the lights on and toilets flushing.
That's like,
Technology-
Yeah.
that's like
technology
10,
always takes a big chunk of the
Yeah.
budget, I know.
that's like 10.45% of the budget. That's it for operation costs.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? When you're running your household, you're trying to keep the electricity costs down. Like, what can we do to keep the things, the things that we can control? And I am all for paying our teachers more because they really truly believe they are underfunded for what they do. But yeah, I was just kind of curious about. I've never actually attended one of these meetings. I read, Forsyth County News. I try to stay current and be kind of an informed community member. But I've never come to a meeting. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come and check one out and see how this.
Well, welcome. We're having another one at 7 o'clock. If you want to come back.
I did see in the news that this is meeting out of
Yeah.
3.
Right.
And then the third meeting is when you're really gonna finalize it.
Well, the third meeting's tonight. Again, it's a public hearing. It'll all be finalized next week. You have, by law, we have to have 3 public hearings.
So next week it'll be finalized, but that's not a meeting finalizing it.
It's not a meeting where the public
It's
is.
not a public hearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's an internal.
Yeah, yes. So we put a proposed budget in millage, and then we listen to people for about a month, and then the board actually votes. So we're in that listening process right now.
It's a public meeting, so you can.
Yes, public meeting, yeah. But you'll never get individualized attention like you got this morning.
That's right.
I guess, come to meetings at 9 AM.
Yeah.
I work from 2:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday,
Okay.
so coming to the later one wasn't
Yeah.
an option for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I got myself up this morning and I was still
Well,
a little late.
And you're the reason why we do one at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Just in case.
you know, just in
Right,
case, so.
I do,
Try to
I
do
mean,
different times.
as a community member, I appreciate that. I pretty much figured, I'm like, that's, they do a 9 and they do a 5, and I'm thinking that you guys are trying to accommodate the community members that, based on their work schedules, can't make a later meeting or earlier meeting, but.
Well, we're glad you're here, and that being said, for everybody watching, we do have a meeting tonight at 7, if anybody wants to attend.
So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So I'll second it.
A motion by Mike and a second by Wes. All in favor? Unanimous.